New footage from the body cams of the police officers from the George Floyd arrest were just leaked, and I will tell you, it is very different than this narrative that we've been led to believe over the last few months, a narrative that I believed as well. When I looked at this case, you see a man who is not resisting, that's 100% cooperating with police officers the whole time. Well, this narrative has now been destroyed with this new leaked body camera footage from these police officers. So let's go over it. We're gonna dissect this footage and we're gonna take a look at this in sections, and I'm gonna give you my commentary on it. So let's take a look at the first bit of body camera footage.
Let's see your hands.
Damn, man.
Stay in the car. Let me see your other hand.
I'm sorry.
Let me see your other hand.
Please,
Both hands.
do nothing.
Put your hands up right now. Let me see your other hand.
What we do?
Put your hand up there. Put your hand up there. Hands on the wheel. Keep your hands on the wheel.
I'm sorry, son.
Who else is in the car?
This is my
Put your foot back in.
I'm so sorry. God dang, man. Man, I got shot the same way as I was before.
Okay, well, when I say let me see your hands, you put your hands up.
I'm so sorry,
You got them?
man. Dang, man.
Put your hands on top of your head.
Last time I got shot like that, I was
Hands on top of your head. Hands on top of your head. Step out of the vehicle and step away from me, all right? Step out and face away. Step out and face away.
Please don't shoot me. Please, man.
I'm not going to shoot you. Step out and face away.
I'm going to get out of here, man. Please don't shoot me, man. Please, man. I just lost my mom, man.
Step out and face away. Step out and face away.
Please don't shoot me, Mr. Officer. Please. Don't shoot me, man.
Step out and face away.
You're not shooting me, man?
I'm not shooting you. Step out and face away.
Okay. Please, man. Please. I didn't know, man.
Get out of the car.
I didn't know, Mr. Officer.
Let me see both hands. Put your hands on the steering wheel. Please get out of the car. All simple instructions that the officer gave George Floyd, and he had to give George Floyd these instructions, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, 10 times. I mean, how many times did the officer have to repeat his instructions over and over and over again as George Floyd is sporadically moving his hands all over the place as the officer is saying, you know, keep your hands where I can see them. Let me see your hands. And George Floyd's like, okay, yeah. Oh, put your hands on the steering wheel. Sorry, officer, don't shoot me. George Floyd, or he didn't actually call him by name, but he says, please get out of the car. No, oh man, come on, don't shoot me. Maybe if you comply, things will go a little bit smoother. But from the get-go, every single command that he had to give, George Floyd, he had to give multiple times. So once again, the idea that George Floyd was cooperating with officers is destroyed when you have footage like this, where George Floyd just looks like some cracked out drug addict who's being sporadic and crazy. And even the officers even asked, this was the other person in the car actually happened to be the ex-girlfriend of George Floyd, and the officers were even asking her, like, why is he acting all squirrely? And she's like, I don't know, this is just how he is. So let's take a look at the next clip.
Why is he getting all squirrely and not showing his hands and just being all weird like that? You want something right now?
No, nothing. You acting erratic.
Let's go.
Stop, I'm not that kind of guy.
Stop.
Please. I'm not that kind of guy, Mr. Officer. Please.
Face away.
Please, man. Don't leave me by myself, man. Please. I'm just claustrophobic. That's it.
Well, you're still going in the car.
I'm not that kind of guy. I've never been arrested before. You have this all wrong. I'm completely innocent. I've never been to jail. I've never seen the inside of a jail cell. I've never been handcuffed before. I've never been in the inside of a police car. Yeah, absolute bullshit. We're talking about a career criminal who's been arrested 9 times, who has 9 felonies, who is very familiar with interacting with police, who's very familiar with getting arrested, who's very, very familiar with what it feels like to be handcuffed and be put in the back of a police car And then that last-ditch effort to avoid getting put in the police car where he goes, "Officer, no, I'm claustrophobic." George, we just pulled you out of a car. You claim that you're too claustrophobic to go inside a car when we just pulled you out of one. Really, really ridiculous stuff. Let's continue watching.
I'll roll the windows down, okay?
Please don't do Take a seat. I'm going in, Mr. Officer. I'm going in. No, you're not. I gotta go in. Take a seat.
Grab a seat, man.
Mind, I don't believe me, Mr. Officer.
Take a seat.
I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not that kind of guy, man.
Take a seat.
Y'all, I'm gonna die in here.
Take a seat.
I'm gonna die, man.
You need to take a seat right now.
And I just had
I'm going to die. That's what he's saying as the cops are trying to put him in the back of a police car. We're talking about an Academy Award-winning performance here. And we all know how the story ends, and it's very tragic and it's very sad. But you can see as George Floyd is really making it very, very difficult, and he's losing pretty much all credibility when he comes out with these drama queen statements saying that I'm claustrophobic, I can't go in the car, oh, I'm going to die if I go in the car. Then when he actually is in real distress, the officers are less likely to take his claim seriously. When you tell an officer that I'm going to die by sitting in the back of a police car, handcuffed, it's going to be really hard for the officer to believe you when you actually are in distress. So, once again, really doing himself some big disfavors. And then also he's saying one thing and he's doing another. As he's saying, yeah, I'm going to get in the car, I'm going to get in the car, he's standing upright and he's actually moving away from the entrance of the back of the car. He was pushing into police officers as he's saying, I'm going to get in the car, I'm going to get in the car, I'm going to get in the car. Like, well, you're saying one thing, but then you're doing another, George. So let's continue watching.
Yes, you get in this car, we can talk.
I'm claustrophobic.
I'm hearing you, but you're not working with me.
God, I'm claustrophobic, man.
Get in the car over here, I'm going to pull you in.
Get in the car. In the front.
No, you're not getting in the
I'm
front.
claustrophobic. So
Get in the car.
Okay, man, okay. I'm not a bad guy, man.
Get in the car.
I'm not a bad guy. Man. Please, officer. Please, please.
Take a seat.
Please, man. Please. No,
Take a seat.
I can't choke. I can't breathe, officer. Please.
Fine.
And you can see in that last clip the struggle that the officers had to even get George Floyd in the car, and the whole time he's screaming and yelling, I'm a good guy, I'm a good guy. Forget my criminal record of me being arrested 9 times and my violent criminal past. Just trust that I'm a good guy. And then lastly, him saying, I can't breathe. And he was saying this while he was still upright inside the police car as the officer was just grabbing his forearms to adjust his position. So once again, I mean, it's like the boy who cried wolf here, and you end up really losing credibility if you're going to make claims that your life is being threatened, that you can't breathe. Do so sparingly and only limit those claims to points where this is actually the case. Because maybe if George Floyd was not being a drama queen from the beginning, saying that I'm claustrophobic, I can't get in the car, I'm going to die if I get in the car, oh, I can't breathe, maybe that he would be taken seriously when his life actually was in danger, right? And once again, none of this excuses what Derek Chauvin did for kneeling on George Floyd's neck, but this does change the narrative of the story very dramatically, because the narrative this whole time has been that George Floyd was cooperating with police officers throughout the entire ordeal. And now we finally got a good snippet, a 9-minute snippet of police body cam footage to show, like, that's not what happened at all. George Floyd was resisting. He was not cooperating from the beginning. The officers had to give him multiple warnings to even put his hands on the steering wheel, to get out of the car, to go in the back of the police car. And then he was saying, you know, the entire time, being an alarmist of, I can't go in the back of the car. I'm claustrophobic. If I go in the back of the car, I'm going to die. Saying that he can't breathe while he's still in an upright position. I mean, none of these things that he did him any favors at all. And also, I'm going to link the uncut video that I found, that I chopped up and included into clips in my video. I'm going to include that entire uncut video in the description below. And to think after 2 months later, maybe actually more like 2.5 months later, we finally get the additional body cam footage, and you think about how many buildings were burned, how many stores were looted, how many police officers, how many civilians have been injured or have died in the name of George Floyd. And I mean, it is absolutely insane. It's grotesque to think about all of the damage done in the wake of George Floyd as this guy is being painted on the side of buildings, as he's being heralded as a hero, as there's t-shirts that are floating all over the place with George Floyd's face on it. And to think this entire time, I mean, we already knew that this guy didn't have the best past, but now even looking at the final incident that ended up taking his life, and it was not at all the narrative of him cooperating, of him complying with officers the entire time. That narrative has been completely shattered. Well, anyway, I'm glad that this is finally out in the open now, so this is new evidence that the public can confront, that the media can now confront. So I hope you like my video. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe, and I will see you all next time.